Engines thundered across the racetrack. It was the World Championship final. Every seat in the stadium was filled, fans waving flags and shouting names. Cameras flashed. Commentators screamed through their mics as cars roared by. Among them was one driver everyone doubted, David Cole. He wasn't the richest racer or the one with the biggest team, but he had heart, faith, and pure focus burning behind his eyes. As the race began, his car surged ahead like a bolt of lightning. 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps. He dominated the track. Crowds cheered every time his red car zoomed past the stands. His team shouted updates over the radio. "You're doing great, David. Keep this pace, and you're leading by 10 seconds. "Copy that," he replied, calm and confident. For him, it wasn't just a race. It was his dream, his life. But then halfway through the next lap, something strange happened. A trail of white smoke began to rise behind his car. At first, it looked small, almost unnoticeable. Then the smoke thickened, covering the track behind him. "David, we're seeing white smoke from your engine," shouted the crew leader. "Reduce speed immediately." But before he could respond, the car began to swerve violently. He gripped the steering wheel, fighting to stay in control. The tires screeched. The car slid sideways at over 200 miles per hour. Then, crash! Metal twisted, sparks flew. The car slammed into the wall and flipped. Once, twice, 3 times, then it burst into flames. The crowd gasped in horror. "David, respond! Are you alive?" The crew shouted into the radio, but there was nothing, just silence and static. Firefighters rushed onto the track, battling a wall of flames. The pit crew stood frozen, watching helplessly. "Oh no. We lost him," one whispered, tears in his eyes. For several agonizing minutes, the fire raged. Reporters began broadcasting the tragedy live around the world. Fans held their breath. Some prayed. But then, something incredible happened. From the thick black smoke, a shadow began to move. A figure emerged slowly, coughing but walking upright. It was David. He was alive, unharmed, standing tall in his burned suit. The entire stadium erupted into stunned silence. He walked toward the pit area as medics ran to check him. "David, are you hurt?" the crew leader shouted. David shook his head, calm and strangely composed. "I'm fine," he said, "but someone cut my brake line." "What?" The crew gasped in disbelief. "The white smoke wasn't from the engine, it was oil leaking," he explained. "How do you know that?" the crew leader asked. David pointed across the pit lane toward another team's garage. "Because I saw him do it," David said quietly. "The driver from Team Falcon sneaked into our garage before the race." The crew leader's jaw dropped. "You saw him sabotage your cars and still raced?" David nodded. "I wanted to prove something, that faith beats fear." "But how can you be smiling after that crash?" another mechanic asked. David chuckled, looking up toward the sky. "Because I already finished the race." The crew stared at him, confused. "What do you mean you finished?" "I crossed the finish line, 1 lap before the crash." Everyone froze. He continued. "I'd already won the race when the brakes failed." A few seconds passed. Then the announcer's voice echoed through the stadium. "Ladies and gentlemen, official confirmation, David Cole wins the World Championship." The crowd went wild. The pit crew broke into tears. Even the rival teams stood in shock as the truth hit them. Meanwhile, across the track, the rival driver looked down in shame. He had tried to destroy another man's dream and still lost. David walked toward him, still smiling gently. "I don't hate you," he said. "You taught me something important today." "What's that?" the rival muttered, eyes wet. "That when God is with you, no one and nothing can stop you." The reporters surrounded him, flashing cameras and microphones. "David, you just survived a crash that could have killed you. What do you have to say?" David looked straight into the lens and said softly, I didn't win because I was the fastest. I won because I never gave up. Sometimes, the fire meant to destroy you becomes the proof of your strength. As the crowd cheered, the sun broke through the clouds, shining on the wreckage. It wasn't just a race anymore. It was a miracle. And from that day, racers, fans, and even skeptics remembered that moment. Because that day, a man proved that faith is stronger than sabotage, and courage burns brighter than any flame. If you believe that when God is with you, nothing can stop you, comment yes and share this story to inspire others.